Hi everyone and welcome back to the podcast. The first podcast that we've done in actually quite a long time. So, for those of you who do follow us, you'll know that we have been quiet on both Spotify, Apple Music, and then also on YouTube. But there is good reason for it. And the reason is because we've actually been trying to build a business, haven't we, or behind the scenes. So yeah, for those of you who followed us from the very beginning, you will know that we set up this podcast because of some personal reasons to do with you, Lee, in terms of having a higher risk of cardiovascular disease within your family, and then also being pharmacists working within the NHS and seeing the um, sort of the realization of what people choose to do and the consequences of that in terms of poor diet and lifestyle. And so, yeah, we wanted to set up a podcast or something where we could, give information out to people so that they can empower themselves to change their own lifestyle to live healthier, didn't we?
Yeah, we didn't have any direction with the podcast. It was mainly just to get our thoughts and opinions across to people, hopefully advise people to better lifestyles, but there was no end product. It was to improve our communication skills and just to see if we can build and develop something outside of our normal 9 to 5. But yeah, the original reason was that there's so many things that happen in life, cardiovascular disease being the biggest killer, happening due to poor lifestyle choices. And a lot more people now are conscious of going to the gym, heart health, but I still feel as though people are missing the true point of they exercise and look good for now.
Yeah.
Over this acute period, maybe 3 months, maybe even a year.
Yeah.
But in reality, the diseases that we're talking about manifest over 10, 20, 30 years time. And we're trying to bring that, evidence, the advice forward so that people can utilize it.
Yeah.
But this is where we come up with the company that we are building. We won't reveal too much about it. We are going to give the name, which it's called BioLite.
Yeah, we will put a link as well to the Instagram, so you guys can follow us on Instagram, and then also our own personal Instagrams, because we will also be putting up stuff on that. So we'll put a link down below. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so BioLite is the company. It aligns with what we believe in terms of preventative health, having access to the information, but also trying to improve your health span as opposed to just lifespan.
Yeah.
You'd rather improve the quality of life than the years that you've lived if the last decade of your life isn't worth living.
Yeah.
From a movement or quality point of view. So that's where the company's going. We're aiming to go live with it around June.
Yes.
Provided, everything goes into place, but there's been a lot of moving parts.
There are, yeah. And I think this is where as well we're going to be trying to do weekly YouTube vlogs where it's about setting up the business and building a business. So again, if anyone feels like that would be something that would interest them, then we are going to put it on this channel. But yeah, no, there's been a lot of things that we've had to get put in place. But it is exciting for us, and like you say, we have now a direction in which we want to go, and it's a company that we 100% align with, and it's utilising all of the things that we've learned over the past year with doing the podcast and researching around the subject of cardiometabolic health. And yet we just hope that obviously it is a success, and that, people can get on board and get excited about it as we are.
Yeah, so the Chemist Couple podcast will be no longer in that format. It will be under BioLite. So anything like you've just said, YouTube, Instagram, any of the Spotify, Apple Music, or the podcasting platforms will change to BioLite. The format of the podcasts will change. Yeah. So we are not going to be releasing anything until, I'd say, give or take the end of May.
Yeah.
And it will go back to weekly podcasts. They will be of a shorter format. I'm hoping around 15 to 20 minutes because we watch a lot of the analytics and a lot of people tend to drop off, especially if it's containing a lot of information. It can be quite draining sometimes. So we are going to level it up in terms of going to a studio, which we've organised. It will be weekly, and it will be more targeted towards cardiometabolic health.
That's the key thing, isn't it? Is that all of the podcasts that we are going to be saying, it'll be short, bursts of information, but it will be specific to cardiometabolic, which, like we know, is still the biggest killer in the world today. And so is a very important topic. And so hopefully by sort of niching down and just speaking about that, we can bring you better quality. Yeah, it is, yeah.
But the company, hopefully everything goes well. It will be, give or take, at the middle of June. we're hoping to fully release everything by. And the dream for us is to, we work in the NHS or for the NHS in some capacity now, and our dream is to diverge towards this full time.
Yeah.
Because that's where our true passion lies. We want to go above and beyond what's offered within the NHS in terms of cardiometabolic prevention, because as we are all aware, the population that we live in, especially within the UK, only enable the NHS to work in a reactive manner. We don't have the funds and access to do prevention, which is where the true, results come from.
Yeah.
So that's what we're hoping.
But thank you to everyone who's already, who's followed us on this journey so far, and we do hope that you do stay around and stick around to see what is happening for us in the future. But yeah, so we hope that you enjoy the journey, and we will catch you hopefully at the end of May.
Yeah, thank you.